Okay. Hey y'all. I am in case I'm not looking directly, I'm streaming live from two different platforms. But welcome. Thank you for joining me. So, I wanted to hop on here because throughout the year I take the time just to remind women to get their mammogram. And I thought this would be the perfect time of the year to hop on here and just throw out that reminder since it's the beginning of the year and you may be still working on planning different things that's going on for you and your family for the year. And I just wanted to remind you, go ahead and plan your mammogram, especially to my ladies who are turning 40 this year. My 1983 babies, yes, it's time to go ahead and schedule your mammograms. But also, while I'm on here, I wanted to share a few misconceptions about mammograms, and this will also help prepare you for an upcoming appointment and to help just, take away some of that anxiety or thoughts or feelings around going in for your mammogram, especially if it's your very first one. So, the first misconception I would like to share with you is that a mammogram is painful. That's a big misconception. And some of this information I've learned just from talking with different people, with women who's gone in for their appointments or who are ready to go, but they just have some questions and concerns. So, one, a mammogram is painful. It's not painful, but what I would rather say is just a few minutes of being uncomfortable. It's because your breasts are being compressed and they're trying to take images from different sides, from the sides of your breast as well as the top of your breast. So again, it's not painful, but just a few minutes of being uncomfortable. The second misconception is, if I have no signs or symptoms, why do I need a mammogram, or why is a mammogram needed? And a mammogram is important. It's a screening mechanism. It is one of those things where early stage breast cancer may not display any signs or symptoms. So if you were to get a mammogram, it may pick it up. So in that sense, a mammogram is a screening and it's a safe way to detect cancer in the breast. The third misconception is mammograms are not helpful for people with dense breasts. Younger women tend to have denser breasts. As they say, we're healthy, vibrant. Not saying that all women are not, but your breast tends to be a lot denser. And with that, there are 3D options available for women with dense breasts. And the 3D option will allow the technician to take different angles of your breast, different images from different angles. So what I would say about that, if you're concerned about having dense breasts and going in for a mammogram, make sure you discuss that with your physician and they will be able to let you know about what's best for you, what are the best needs for you. The fourth misconception around mammograms is that it detects all forms of breast cancer. This is not true. The thing about it is that mammograms may detect it and it also may miss it. Basically, it's not 100% a detection of cancer. And there are also some forms of breast cancer that are hard to detect with mammograms. And I'm going to share an extra measure that you could take. But again, mammograms are important because it will help screen. And if there is something there, it potentially can be seen. The fifth misconception is that annual mammograms are not needed. So, I had my mammogram this year, I could skip a few years and go. It's highly recommended that you go every year because, again, mammograms don't detect all breast cancer, but if a lump or a symptom or a sign were to develop in between your mammogram, in between the annual appointments, you may be able to catch it. And you also may be able to catch it when you perform your self breast exams, which lead me to number 6. I've also heard that self breast exams aren't needed. They're really not that important. I highly recommend and encourage you to perform a monthly self breast exam. And the reason why I say this, it gives you the chance to get to know the look and feel of your breast so that you are able to recognize what's normal and what isn't normal. So make sure you perform your self exams. If you're still having your menses, your menstrual cycle, recommend performing it versus about 7 to 10 days after your cycle. That way your body has given a chance to just relax and come down from all the hormonal changes of your menstrual cycle. And if you are in menopause, just pick a day of the month and check your breasts once a month, at least once a month. And then the seventh misconception is that if you don't have any family history, then it's really not important to get a mammogram anyway. The thing about it is that many women who are diagnosed with breast cancer, they don't have a family history of breast cancer. Genetics is one risk factor, but there are so many other things. And again, screening is basically one of the best ways to find and detect early breast cancer. So I would say it's good and important to know your family history, but don't just rely on your family history in terms of trying to decide whether or not you're going to get a mammogram. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. But I just wanted to come on here and share just some of the misconceptions surrounding mammograms, and also share why it's important to go ahead and have your annual mammogram every single year, and also to perform your monthly self breast exams. Hey, just gracefully, excuse me, I'm tongue tied. Hi, just gracefully driven. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, so if you have any questions regarding mammograms, whether you're watching this video now or at a later time, and you want to drop any questions or concerns, please feel free to just leave them in the chat. You can also send me a DM. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions for you. But yeah, certainly go ahead and schedule your mammogram if you haven't put it on your calendar for this year. And if you have concerns about getting a mammogram because you may have dense breasts or something along those lines, you have some concern. I think I dropped. Okay, am I back? Okay. So yeah, if you have any concerns regarding getting a mammogram, make sure you discuss those concerns with your doctor. The thing about it, there are options, there are screening mechanisms, ways to just help detect breast cancer, and also certainly perform your monthly self checks. So I just want to thank you all. Let me see. Thank you all for joining me. I don't see any questions, but again, thank you so much for joining me, and have a great night.